What's up, guys? Brendan from Market Makers. Hope you're enjoying your holiday weekend here in the US and getting your shopping done because it is cold, it is rainy here in Florida, and Bitcoin price action is dead. Guys, we're going to review the patterns. We're going to do a volume analysis quickly, and we're going to give you some predictions of where we think price is going before we get a strong rebound, okay? If you like the type of patterns that we're doing, if you want to be a Fibonacci trader, if you want trade signals, if you want an awesome community, check out our Discord link in the video description. Come try it, no risk, no obligation. See if you like it. 6,000 people seem to like it. I think you guys will love it. So come check it out, my friends. And if you need an exchange, check out BITGET, the most security certificates online. They haven't had a single crash since I've been on it. Super liquid exchange. And guys, Australia, US, UK, no VPN is needed. No VPN and no ID is needed. You can register with an email. You can transfer massive amounts of money in and out. Their limits are very, very high. Check it out, guys. Super secure exchange, super liquid, jumping into the patterns. Guys, I showed you this on the last couple of videos. We're going to go over again briefly. Black Swan is what we are trading in. And again, we are descending in price 22.69%, actually a little bit further now, 22.69%, making this officially a Bitcoin crash. Okay, a correction is 10 to 20%. Anything over 20% is a crash. Doesn't mean the market's falling apart. That's the terminology used in the financial world. We found support in the box that I gave you on November 10th, where we would find support 53.5, bounced off it, not getting a lot of movement. As you can see, we fell through our Darvis volatility box as well. Something I want you guys to pay attention to is the 200 on the daily. Also, the first activation potential point for the bullish white swan, an almost 6-month pattern, which I do expect to send price up for a nice bounce when we hit, but it may not activate here. As I showed you in the last video, this can come all the way down to 31K. Okay, so it just depends where an activation is. And again, you find these activation points not only by the price action, but by the various indicators. What's your volume doing? Do you have up bars? What is your trend? What is your momentum? What is your volatility? You have to marry all this together when you're trading these patterns, my friends. So right now we're watching this, and again, we lost the 200 in the 1 hour and the 4 hour. It's very important to keep it on the daily, or else you are going very bearish if you lose the 200 here, okay? Because then the 200 is also resistance to the rise. This price right here, 42,951, is market symmetry. That is the 1618 off this red pattern, which is the black swan. That is another potential area we will find support for the white swan to activate and move us back up in price, okay? So let's go ahead and fast forward this to Wyckoff. Been over this the last couple of videos. Wyckoff has 4 phases in the price cycle, guys. Accumulation, markup, distribution, markdown, okay? The cycle Bitcoin has been following, and again, I go over patterns that are current, my friends. I don't do 2013 fractals. I don't do 2018 patterns. I'm showing you current pattern, how Bitcoin is trading now in this bull run. It has done this pattern not once, but twice, okay? It's already completed this pattern twice. We are about to lose our distribution box up here, which means we'll be going down to markdown. Now you can see this, we're testing the bottom of our Darvis box already, okay? We tested it once, closed above it. Looks like we're gonna fall through it. Price looks to be descending, okay? Not only that, I noticed nobody else on YouTube is talking about the other markets. The futures open up for stocks here very shortly, about 4 or 5 hours from now. When that opens up, very key to watch. Are they opening up red or black? Black meaning they look like they're turning bullish, or are they going to be neutral, or are they going to be red? Because if they look like they're selling more, Bitcoin is definitely going down. And like I said, I think it's going down to that 47K level to find support at the 200 moving average on the daily. So you can see this pattern. Market symmetry is key with me. Patterns is key with me. All the greats understood price moved in patterns. Whether you call it waves, whether you call it volatility, it moves in patterns, okay? So when you look at this, again, I showed you this the other day. If we just take measured moves from our reaccumulation box to our distribution box, you're about 134% in a measured move, an uptrend. If you take it from our accumulation box, which is where Bitcoin consolidated again, to our current distribution box, you're at 140%. Let's just call it 135. So here's the key. This is the market. You're in the place where you have to understand what's happening in the market. If we fall from our Darvis box here, our distribution box, into the markdown phase, where we find support, Let's say it's at 47K. Let's say 47K, the white swan activates and starts pushing us back up, okay? Just so we can get a measured move of 135%. So let's find 47K. 47K. Now let's take our ruler and let's go up 135% to see what price of Bitcoin we would have. You're looking at 127K Bitcoin. That's if you can hold 47K, get a bounce up, accumulate in that range, maybe 47 to 53, 47 to 59, whatever that range is. Because remember, these accumulation ranges can be 10, 15,000 point swings. If you can hold 47 as your baseline, you can get up to 130K almost Bitcoin, okay? So if that's not bullish, I don't know what is. And that is a realistic prediction. That's not 260K. That's not 400K. That's not, whatever. These crazy numbers that people are coming up with no basis for it at all. This is a measured move. Bitcoin has done not once, but twice this bull run. Very key. This is current time Bitcoin has done this. So it all comes down to where we hold this box. Let's just do one more. If Bitcoin does go down, let's just say it goes down to that 42,951. So about 43K. Let's just do one more. See where this could go. A measured move of 135%. Again, a pattern that Bitcoin's done twice gets you to 116K Bitcoin. Again, guys, this is super bullish if you can hold the accumulation box because it does look like we're going to markdown. Let's zoom in to the smaller time frames and see exactly what's happening. Because if we look at our weekly pattern first, which is not a small time frame, but let's look at our weekly pattern first because that was the bullish scenario. And again, I have to show you what you could do in the event that you don't hold that accumulation box. In an event that you get a deeper markdown, that first markdown was 55%. Again, this markdown over here was a 55% drop, okay? So if we can avoid that and hold our accumulation box, which by the way, guys, look at the market symmetry, 47.9, your 0.5 fib and the pitchfork. The same potential place, the same place, the 200 moving averages on the daily. This is a weekly time frame, a weekly pattern, and the early activation for the white swan. Again, if price does come down and does this, gets price movement from the white swan, this is super bullish and you could be well on your way to over 100K Bitcoin. If it doesn't do that, it comes down, finds support, maybe comes up, comes down again and starts trading in this quadrant. You have a right shoulder, a head, and a left shoulder. And again, I gave you this neckline break right here, drops you down in a measured move to 10,768. This is weekly. It doesn't mean you're going like this, right? You're going to have waves. This could take months. This could take weeks to play out. As you can see, these are weekly bars. It depends on the size of the bar. This pattern can move in, it can move out, okay? The fib ratio would not change. So that's the downside. You cannot make a shoulder. And then that's when people say, how come you didn't make it the first time we did a markdown? Because you have your accumulation down here, pre-bull run, reaccumulation, distribution box. You see how simple this is? Like when you understand the price cycle, your distribution box, your markdown, and then here's your accumulation, right? Reaccumulation, you didn't get this other shoulder because you just fell 55%. So these patterns just keep repeating themselves. This is a distribution box. We want to avoid making a shoulder here. If we make that shoulder, bad. We don't want that to happen, okay? Now, this is a bullish pattern, so this gives you a prediction, as long as we track to this pattern, what the price would be next bull run. Assuming we lose, assuming that markdown severe, assuming we cannot accumulate, we make a head and shoulders, we fall apart, market descends over a period of time, whether it's weeks or months, it descends, lower highs, we get down here, 10,871. Where could we go, right? What is the next bull run targets? These are good questions. So let's go ahead and look at it really quickly. So if we pull this out, your 1272 realistic target is 85K. Okay, it's a big increase from 69K. Your 1618 is 105K Bitcoin. 105K Bitcoin. So guys, as somebody who's a trader, I'm not upset if Bitcoin descends because you're getting really cheap Bitcoin, really cheap alts, and the next wave up looks massive to 105K for the next bull run, okay? You can make money on the way down in the right room. You can get your money in at the bottom in the right room, and then you can make a ton of money on the way up in the right room. Consider that, guys, when you consider where your members at, if they're giving you trades to get profit in this type of marketplace. 4-hour time frame. I'll speed this up, and everybody's busy today. So Ichi Cloud, you can see easily we have a lot of resistance. This is a 4-hour time frame. We are below our volume weighted moving average as well. You can see prices ascending. What is this pattern? This is a bullish black swan that formed. This is a 2618 extension where price could go before you get some type of reversal. It could activate before this. This is at 49.8. It could be activating right here because these are early activation points, okay? And you see price going back up here. But again, the reason this pattern is not in the top of my mind, the forefront of my mind, because you are in a macro dissension with a ton of resistance. A bullish pattern, when you're in a macro dissension below the 200, below all the resistance, this may just be what you get. You see this up candle right here? In other words, this could be the activation point because it can activate here. And you got this up candle, and then you can get a couple more up candles. You can hit the top of your Darvis box, get into your moving averages a little bit. You could even come up here. And then normally, depending on the ferocity, you'll just end up dropping back down, okay? So we're looking at big moves here. We want some big moves, big trades, capture massive profits, and we are below the 200 moving average again as well. Now, let's look at our volume indicators and see what the volume's showing us, okay? So we have our ATR shows volatility. We are starting to flatline at one of my baselines, so we could, just as you can see here, have a big move up. Volatility is a measurement, the difference in the candles, okay? So you can have big moves when the volatility spikes. And of course, our Shande is really flat. Now, my volume has changed up, my friends, for those of you that watch this channel regularly. This is the same type of oscillator, but it is on balance volume. This does calculations based on previous close, whether that was bearish or bullish, and it does a calculation to show you the average for the timeline that you specify. Mine is at 13 periods. So you can see we are below the signal line. This is bearish, even though you would think looking at it, it's a bullish thing. You see buying. This isn't buying. This is selling. So you actually have on balance volume down. This is a leading indicator. You can read about on balance volume and learn about it. We're below our signal line. We are dropping. It shows momentum. The idea being when you're above your signal line, you can have a move up, okay? So it's a predictive indicator. You can have a move up. Now, guys, I know you're going to, the guys in my room are going to be flack. They're going to say, you have volume bars, because I rage all the time about how volume bars are basically useless compared to the advanced volume techniques, indicators that are out there, like time segmented volume, price volume, trend. These other indicators are much better for volume. This is actually an advanced volume bar. It's from our same friend, Fractal Trade 15, and it does have relative volume married into it. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1 indicator. I use it as a supplement with my other volume indicators to see it. And of course, it has a signal line as well, and you can see there is selling going on, more selling than buying, okay? So that's the other thing we're looking at. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame, current time frame. Ichi's playing out the same exact way. You can see we fell out of our Darvis box. It looks like we did activate that black swan. See, again, this is how you can tell when you're activating patterns, because you can see the candle movement, right? You hit a demand zone where price got bought up, which is what that Fibonacci pattern is showing you. And so I don't expect much to happen. Again, we have our ATR pivot points here, okay? These are volatility pivot points. You can see price hitting it, getting rejected multiple times. Bitcoin price action looks extremely weak. One thing of note of value, these clouds are not overly thick, meaning these are areas that had support. So if momentum for whatever reason changed, and what could change momentum? Super bullish Dow, super bullish SPX opening could change momentum, and you could bounce off of something like that white swan at 47K and really start breaking through these lower time frames and making progress up. And let's check out our OBV and everything here. So here you can see the OBV, since it's more current time frame. You can see that is starting to reverse, because you can see in our advanced volume down here, we just had a big buy candle, right? So you got a buy candle back up, and you can see your OBV reversing, but you are below the signal line, meaning on balance volume, on balance, you are more negative, you're more bearish than bullish. You can see your ATR is going up a little bit after resting. That's a very weak ATR move. You want moves like this. You want big moves like this. You want contraction, explosion. That's what you want in ATR. All right, guys. Check out our room. I think you'll love it. Hope you enjoyed this. Please smash the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend, and more videos coming soon. Watch the markets open for futures, my friends. I'm telling you, potentially very strong tie there because of the COVID news. Let's see what happens here with the futures open. Talk to you guys soon. Happy trading.